Greetings, Internet family. I'm coming to you this morning because I have come up with a brand new word for our English lexicon. The word is GMBF. It's spelled GMBF and is pronounced GMBF because the M is silent. It refers to the gay male best friend. I think it's a very important word because he is becoming more and more of a dominant force, both in film as well as in real life. Come to think of it, I think California made it state law somewhere back in the 90s for every romantic comedy to have one of these. He usually shows up for the first time, about 15 minutes deep or so into the film, and he's immediately recognizable because he is suave, dashingly handsome, and debonair. Beyond that, he is dressed and coiffed to absolute perfection all the time, to the point that it's obnoxious. And finally, to top it all off, he is also very well-mannered, extremely refined, and very much the perfect gentleman. And all of this lends to him an aura of humble, but nevertheless distinctive superiority, especially when placed next to the poor schlub with whom the leading lady is supposedly romantically involved. At about 35 minutes deep into the film, he spontaneously leads the entire cast in song, usually at some fancy restaurant or some other highbrow establishment of the sort, further captivating said leading lady. And here we get to the very core of the whole thing. In her heart of hearts, the leading lady desperately wishes if only she could just somehow transform Mr. Schlub and make him be just a little bit more like Mr. GMBF. Or short of that, if only she could win over Mr. GMBF and make him go straight, even if it's only for her. Sadly, neither of these two things is destined to ever happen. We always want what we can't have, don't we? Now, I say this with no hard feelings towards anybody. In fact, if you're looking for a takedown, you're going to have to look some other place because it's not coming here. Why would it anyway? Thing is, I know plenty of real-life GMBFs, and they really are all that. They do dress sharp, and when it comes to style, fashion, gentlemanliness, and sensitivity, and overall class and just living the good life, they have it all over a lot of us. With all due respect, a lot of us schlubs could really stand to take our cues from some of them, and the whole world would be a much better place for it. So in response to this, there's three people that I want to hear from. Ladies, you've got to come in here and tell me about the GMBF in your life. Is he really all that, just like they play him up in the movies? I rather suspect that he is, but I'd be interested in hearing it from you just to make sure. Gentlemen, if the lady in your life has a GMBF, hint, hint, she does. You've got to come in here and tell me about how that's going for you. I mean, how's it going having to deal with him and her and just that whole thing? And finally, if you're one of those GMBFs out there, you've got to come in here and tell me about how has taking on that role in your life helped you in making a difference in the lives of the people around you. And don't worry, I'm not asking for any of your trade secrets because I totally get it. Even with all of that superiority that you're packing, you're also way too much of a gentleman to ever admit to any of it. So with all that, this has been your good friend Steve. Can't wait to hear your responses to this, and I'll see all of you up here next time. Steve out.